Hi guys, welcome to Just Tom Talk. Again, over at Ducati, representing with a baseball cap. Don't worry, we're going back to the red. We're going to be riding something that's a little bit different for me today. I wouldn't ordinarily choose this one, but I'm really looking forward to it. Here we are then, people. Ducati StreetFighter, the V2, 955cc, 152 brake, about 200 kilos, but my gosh, she is an absolute beauty, and I'm really looking forward to it. Look at that back end and all that there. This is something else. Is it gonna pip the monster? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Let's get on the road. Coming custom now and Just Tom Talk. I like to stop after I've spent about an hour on this just to give you my initial feedback, and I've got to say I'm really impressed. It is so sweet, it feels so planted, so powerful. It's nimble, it's quick, it's very precise, but it's very easy to live with as well. It's now raining, so it really does get to put it through its paces. I've been out riding with Jez on 950 multi, and you know how I feel about that. But this is really good. It's picking up the bumps in the road really well as well, so the suspension's really nice on it. Looking forward to spending more time with it. But first impressions, sweet. Okay, I've just pulled over at the side of the road because I've got to talk about this front wheel. It is absolutely bizarre. It feels like it's directly underneath where you are. It feels a bit like a supermoto, which means it turns really quick. It's really engaging. I'm well impressed. Bring on the mileage. This is ace. And if you like motorbike chatty things about motorbikes, I'm going to be doing a podcast. That's going to be done in conjunction with Piddies. We're going to be talking all things Ducatis, BMWs, Triumphs, but there'll be other bikes being thrown in the mix as well, because we've got to, because they're the competition. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Check out Just Tom Talk with Just Tom talking. Right, spent a while with this now. Thanks first and foremost over to guys at Ducati. They're still being good to me. Red cap's back on now. Let's talk a little bit about stats. Let's talk a little bit about money. So what's this going to set you back? Well, this bike's going to cost you about £15,500 on a PCP, about 3,800 quid. Over the next 3 years, you're looking about 150 quid. Take a few pennies here and there. The bike is going to get you basically a Panigale V2 with straight handlebars right on the front, and it's very comfy. But it's basically a Panigale V2 with straight handlebars is the short version. So it's an absolute thoroughbred sports bike, but just made for use day to day. The weight is about 200 kilos, wet it's 180. Fill that tank up, which is 17 litres, and it gets you up to about that mark. That seat says 33.3 inches. Personally, I don't find that bad at 5'8", and I'll show you a picture in a minute, me slinging my leg over. I think it's relatively easy, but for your money, that is one hell of a bike. Right, Top Gear's got the Stig. Fortunately, I've got Big John, the ape. So, guess I better take this over to him then, haven't I?
Big John, 17 stone, 6'3", currently riding KTM Supermoto 950.
Nice.
All right.
What is that?
Yeah. It's an animal, mate. That's what it looks like.
Not far off.
Yeah, let's look from this side. It's nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what it is?
That looks badass. Well, he says I'm going to give you a surprise. I'm not going to tell you what it is. He says, but I've got you a free cap and hold the keys. So I had an inkling that it was going to be Ducati. But yeah, I didn't think it'd be something like that. That's well small. Did the Ducatis just started making small bikes all of a sudden?
For me.
Yeah.
They're seeing how many YouTube
Mind you, mate, that's all right. Yeah, mate.
John, sit on that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to struggle.
Even brake pedal. Just go down to the brake pedal, look. Even my seating position, I ain't got to lift my toe far to get on the brake. Whereas most of the time I have to give it some of that.
Yeah.
Whereas this is, it's already there, mate. It's already set up for me.
Knees on, rubbing onto the
No,
tank.
loads of room.
How's your backside in bang? Look, then you've got tons behind you.
Could sit like that if I wanted. Yeah, if I wanted to get down to business.
Seating position, handlebars.
Nice, yeah, good. Quite a lot of weight on your wrists.
Right.
After about half hour riding on a sports bike, I get pins and needles in my fingers, so it'd be interesting to see what this one's like. Standard Ducati sound, innit? Ooh. It's popping, mate, already.
Yeah. Standard exhaust.
Is it?
Yeah.
That is standard.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna get a bollocking for this.
John, you've just got off. What's the verdict?
It's an animal.
It's a beast,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's next level, that is.
What did you think of the riding position?
A bit harsh on your wrists. So you've only done 10 mile, and I've got a bit of carpal and pins and needles coming. But you soon forget about that when you're hitting about 12,000.
Where do you find them power bands then?
I reckon from 8 onwards, 8, 9. When it gets up to there, it's just everything goes. You know, when you first go on a motorbike, you get an experience where you're not going everywhere and everything's coming towards you, and that's what you get on this from the speed of it. Once you get up in them revs,
Yeah,
it's just next level.
Ducati Monster was your best bike that you've ever ridden.
I'm sticking with Monster, mate.
Oh yeah.
I'm sticking with the Monster just for overall experience.
Well, oddly, this isn't top of the food chain. What do you think this makes in power?
Well, I'm comparing it to Rob's MT.
Yeah, which is the same market.
Yeah, and I reckon this is probably, I'd be surprised if this has got less brake horse than the MT. I'm saying 175.
It's not a bad guess. 152.
Delivers the power better than the.
I think it's a smoother ride than the MT.
It seems a bit more smaller and a bit more nimble.
Yeah, it's such a short wheelbase, isn't it?
You can't fault them for looks. Just ride bikes because I like them. I don't know a great deal about them, but I just know what I like, and I like the Monster more just because it's a bit more tamed down, and you can give 100% of the throttle a lot more of the time, which makes it more fun.
Ride the nuts off
like
of
we
it.
said about the little MT125, because you're giving it balls deep on everything, just makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Because this is, don't get me wrong, some people will be able to ride this to its full potential, and they'll have even more fun on it, but I can't, so I won't.
Yeah. Let's have a look around it. Let's have a look at a few of the tricks that are on it, a few of the spec that's on it, and make your own mind up. On the front then, we've got these massive discs. I'm not going to go into the size of them because you know what they are, but they are running Brembos, and the beauty of having them on there is that it means that this bike absolutely stops on a dime. Then front forks, you can see there, I love the fact that they're grey and they're not gold because it really suits the bike. It's nice that they're thought outside the box there. This model's got the carbon fender on the front, and now the front. Look at that. If anything says StreetFighter, it's that headlight. It looks uber cool, along with them little indicators either side. But look how pronounced their handlebars are, and what gives it comfort when you're riding it. But from the front, absolutely cracking. And it's got the good old Pirelli Rossos on, which mean that it sticks to the road like no man's business. These indicators here, they've got your built-in Audi technology, so they do the flashing thing, they go left and right, they really catch the eye. Just here we've got levers with the sort of like the breakout bit that goes on there. Got bar ends on this particular model and a steering damper. Now I have to say, that really does instill confidence when you're out on the road. I could take my hands off the handlebars and I felt really quite confident, and that was aided by the fact it's got this super dampener on it. Now you can see here on the top, controls are nice and easy to get to. They are your regular run-of-the-mill Ducati controls, along with your wing mirrors. It's got a lovely little 4.3 TFT display, and as you can see there when you turn it on, you've got your lovely Ducati greeting, and everything's nice and easy to read. This fuel tank then holds 17 litres, give or take a few. Alongside another optional extra, it's got this key, this lovely little thing. So that plastic tab goes in there, you push it down, you release that, it comes out. It's just so you don't have to use a key. It's nice to have. Do you need it? Not really, but it's nice to have. This has got the aftermarket sort of single seat conversion on it. They're about 300 quid for something like that, but it really does suit the bike. I certainly think so. Look at that wheel. It's absolutely beautiful. I did mention to Mark, it's a pity it's not got that red bit of tape on it. I really quite like that, but what a fetching wheel. That really does suit it. And when you zoom out, wow. This bike, it's a showstopper, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, then let's talk about this engine because it's an absolute pearler. 955cc. It makes 152 brake horsepower at just short of 11,000 revs, and I can promise you that is an absolute gem. It's also in the V2 Panigale, like I'd mentioned. However, I am so surprised that's not been put in something else. It is so flexible, it's so powerful, it's nicely balanced. It is an absolute gem of an engine. Why it's only in this at the moment, I don't know. Down here, this is a standard exhaust. I could not believe it today when I spoke to the guys at Ducati. I spoke to Mark and I says, what have you got on this one then? He says, nothing. Literally got this carbon end can bit on here and it just makes it look nice. But I can honestly say, and I'm not exaggerating people, save your money. Put your money into the bike, get yourself some heated grips because that sounds absolutely fantastic. From this side, not quite as pretty. It's got all the mechanics that are in this side, your drive chain for example, but it looks okay. What I do like in the suspension, what I've not spoke about, is the fact that it is manual, so the front and back is manual adjustable. It's nice and easy to use, but look how simple that is to get to. So on the top here, you've just got your cog, you pop onto there, off you go, job's a good in, and you're off on the road. Now, we've got quick shifter up and down, you can just see it there. Try and zoom in. You can just see it there. That is brilliant. I said the Ducati Monster and the Super Sport were the best quick shifter. I'm going to sack that off now. This has just gone into first place because it is faultless. It reminds me of a BMW car to drive. When you're going up and down, you can't even feel the movement. It's absolutely brilliant. What we always like to do in Just Tom Talk is to chuck a leg over here so you, the audience, can see what it's like for the average person sit on it. Now I'm about 13.5 stone, 5'8", and I must admit, it's a really good fit for me. Sports bikes tend to be anyway. You can see how easy I can get my leg over there. Feet are just short of being flush, but because the tank is so thin, it really does give you that feeling of control. The way that your handlebars lean forward, you can see there's hardly any movement there. I'm not far off, straight up, a couple of degrees if that. You can see there, if I tuck my knees in, it's just so well designed. There's so much space in here, but it does mean that when you're riding at pace, you've got plenty of space as well to move back. It's a huge seat. To be fair, I wouldn't want to be filling that out. If I was, I'd be considering maybe going out on a few runs, start cycling instead of motorbiking. So let's sum up this bike. What do I think of it? Would I spend my own money to buy it? And if you, the public, were potentially looking at one, if you're in the right market, well, I can say, having had the S1000R, this is a better bike. This is a better bike. You can disagree with me, that's fine. We love opinions anyway. The ride is good, it's progressive. When you're out on the road, it never feels aggressive to the point of being scary. It feels like it's got its own gravitational pull, and it's not that heavy, which is down to the way then that it's built, because it is short. But when you're out on the road, the riding position is so forward facing that even though you're getting clean air hitting you, you can get up to pace really well and hold pace, and it's not tiring. It really does instill confidence. The engine on this is absolutely sublime. It is next level. It's a 955, but it's an absolute peach of an engine. It's so well balanced. Even going through town, it's nice and easy to live with. You're not on and off the clutch all the time. You can pretty much just leave it in second gear. Once you get to about 2,500 revs, it will just ride out. 6,500 revs seems to be its sweet spot for me, all the way up to 11 when it starts redlining. First gear will just do short of 70 mile an hour. It's got plenty of poke. What's it like on fuel? Oddly, quite good. Done about 50 mile per gallon today, so you'll decent range out of that tank. to be fair, it's not really for going out touring on, is it? Go out on a Sunday, go out for your mates in the evening, have a play, look super cool. That's got it, it's got that pretty much tied up really. You can get a passenger on the back. I wouldn't want to do it because you would be spending all your time doing that. It would be too flighty with somebody on the back if they weighed more than a bag of sugar, in my opinion. Would I buy one myself? I'd love to. I'd love to have one of these in the garage because it's uber cool. I've really enjoyed my time with this bike. It's absolutely fantastic. It's comfortable, it's fast. It's got loads of tech that makes you feel safe as well. And I can honestly say I'm struggling to find a negative with it. I can't find a negative with it. Okay, so I want to say thank you to the guys over at Ducati. I know my last few reviews have all been on Ducatis, but you're not going to hear me complain, no way. So while ever they're providing them, I'm going to keep riding them. So just want to say thank you guys for keeping me in nice bikes. If you've not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Click that bell, click that subscription thing. It all helps. Go and check out my other videos as well. Certainly the last 3 or 4, I'd like to think I'm getting there with regards to quality, but you, the audience, are the people that inspire me to keep doing more, and really kind of some of the nice feedback that you're giving me. There's a few arseholes on there, but in the always, but wicked. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, ride safe. See you next time on Just Time Talk. That is super cool. StreetFighter V2 Ducati. Get one down here. Bang in.